Hey everybody, and hello to especially the Patreon community of Zeus Pantera. I've been really excited about getting these Takstar headphones in for a while now, and I know that some of you know about them, but basically I'm just going to do a quick physical overview of them in this video. I'm still doing my listening, and I want to really be sure how I feel about these before I talk about how they sound. So that will be in another video. But if you're just interested in what they look like and how they feel and just the particular things about them, this video is for you. So I'm just going to cover quickly the differences between the two and actually just what I like about these. My first impression looking at these on Takstar's website was that they look extremely cheap. I did not like the way they looked at all. I thought they looked like a cheap pair of hi-fi minis, which is saying something. Now, I just think they don't photograph well. Having them in person, they feel totally different than they look. They're very, very heavy. They're about 1 pound with the cable and adapter. Cable's attached, and from what I've read online, there's not a lot of room between this cable and the driver, so making a detached cable might be a little bit of an issue modding these, but I'm sure someone will come out with something in time. I'm not a modder, at least not that far myself, so don't expect anything from me in that regard. These are the cloth pads it comes with. It also comes with perforated leather pads. They're okay. They're not too bad, but they do come with 2 sets of mounting rings, which is nice. So they're not glued or anything like that. If you just want to put your own pads on, I think I'm going to try the Shure 1540 pads and see how they do. They should be able to fit okay. Brainwave's oval pads can fit with slight modification. You just need to trim around these little mounting brackets, mounting tabs. So the cloth is very interesting. It's very soft, very smooth. It looks textured, but it's not. And it is almost identical to the cloth that's on the inside of the Sendy Ava. It feels to the touch almost exactly the same. This is a little bit darker with a little bit of a finer pattern. And this is a little bit lighter, a little bit larger pattern, but the entire pad's cloth. So yeah. Actuation, you have just a little bit of back and forth, and that doesn't seem like it's improperly designed or mounted or anything. It's the same on both sides. It's the way it's supposed to be. There's no creaking. If you hear anything, it's just the cable on the bench here. There's no creaking in the headset. Like I said, they're very heavy. This grill is metal. This chrome ring is metal. The yokes are metal. This, where it says Takstar, is metal. Everything feels very premium. The cable's not too bad. It is rubberized, but it's not a sticky rubberized like you would expect. It actually feels quite durable. I like the Y split. Yeah, I mean, everything's very beefy. The cable's pretty long. As you can see, I have it wrapped up here. I'm not sure how long it is exactly, but I think it specifies on Takstar's site how long the cable is. The end, it does have some relief here on the end, but this is just your typical Chinese screw-on adapter. Underneath here is a 3.5, of course. But, I mean, it's functional. It works, so I'm not really complaining about it, but if anything felt cheap, it's just maybe this a little bit, but it is metal. I wish it was maybe a little bit nicer to match the rest of the headphone. So I can't tell if this is really cheap metal or plastic. I think this is plastic, but it is mirrored black. It's glossy black, piano black. But it looks awful in pictures. It does not look awful in real life. Of course, it's going to get a little bit of fingerprints on it and stuff, and I'm sure you can see a little bit already. But I think it looks quite interesting. Padding, there's a good bit there. It's a typical Takstar where they don't use a lot of padding, but it's shaped in such a way where you don't need a lot of padding. It just molds to your head. It's very, very comfortable. Clamping force is pretty strong, and that might loosen over time, although I'm not sure how much because most of this is metal, including the sliders, and the headband itself is metal, so I wonder how much that's going to lessen over time. But the clamping force is good, so if you go with a bigger set of pads or something like that and you need that extra clamping force, it's there. There's not really a whole lot else to say except for my favorite part of the headphone, which is the slider. I have not felt a smoother slider on any headphone. It feels almost pneumatic, and it stays in place just fine. That has that nice, listen, just that nice tap. But the slider is great. So overall, I'm very happy with them physically for the amount of money I spent, which was $160 shipped after coupons and everything like that. I think they're like $180 now on AliExpress. So don't let the pictures deceive you. These do feel like a very high quality headphone. I was very skeptical about them, at least from the pictures. Sound wise is a whole different story. We'll talk about that soon, I'm sure. And of course, here's the beautiful Sendy Ava. My pair don't have that very interesting wood burl that some of you guys I've seen. You know, you guys have really interesting pairs, but I love these. They sound really, really good, and you know, they're handmade and it's got beautiful wood, and the cable's perfect. Which I don't, where I put my cable, it's around somewhere. But allegedly, these use the same drivers, so we'll see how they sound. Again, I'm not going to talk about it in this video. Just wanted to cover this and, you know, the pads and what to expect out of the box. Hopefully this will keep you a little bit satisfied. Maybe it'll make you a little bit more interested in these. And I'm doing everything I can to test these and compare them to these. And I will keep you updated as to what's going on. So if you have any questions, give me a shout. You can bother me in Z's Telegram, or you can bother me on my Discord, or you can leave a comment here on YouTube. And I will talk to you guys again very soon about these.